Greetings, or hi with a Y. Gandalf in the prison shirt once again on this glorious Friday the 13th. I was just about to start the video just then and a train went by and I thought, I've lost my train of thought now, so let's get back on track. In some ways that's sort of like a duality reminder in a way, because this life is all a training from experience. What I wanted to talk about on this one was how by staying neutral and sitting on the fence is so important, because you're not giving an energy to something through reaction. Think about with your immediate family around you. You're probably the black sheep of the family and they won't wake up. Well, it's like I said on the last video, be benevolent, offer them a hand. Why, like for example, why did this happen? We explain it, but then they reject it because you've got this AI program. I mean, look at a Google Earth map of these cities, and it does look like a circuit board, and they're clones on a circuit board, or clowns in a circus, really. If anybody isn't prepared to do the inner work, then that's their problem. We're not carrying anybody. We've got enough to do with ourselves, and it's important that we all do our own thing. Some people are not going to like or take to my videos for whatever reason. Well, that's fine. There's plenty of other people out there who are helping this enlightenment, this awakening, and for whatever reason they may suit you more than another person. It's just personal preference. We can't help but make judgments in one way or another. It's very difficult because we are trained to, everybody will make a judgment. You'll see a stranger walking towards you and you might think, oh, I don't like what they're wearing, or oh, that looks good, but so what? Doesn't really matter. It's all superficial at the end of the day. So the best way forward is if we use this time, because we are governed by time, although we have won this spiritual war anyway, in this 3D reality it still has to have this play out on this stage, these theatres of war. We can all get angry and upset over what's happening. Far better if we just scroll past it and don't give any energy to it, really. 9/11, we can argue about whether it was planes actually hitting the buildings, whether it's CGI. That's divide and conquer yet again, because darkness always plays good cop, bad cop. Like I've said before, always look for the hidden third silent one that is playing the good cop and the bad cop in all this, because it is all about divide and conquer. So it is more, what was the symbolic representation of those towers coming down? That's the thing to look at. And it's the 9/11 in Roman numerals, 1XX1. It's a symbolic sacrifice to what these psychopaths believe in and are the agenda that they are following. It's very dangerous, of course, when you've got people who've got billions of dollars or billions of pounds, and money is a huge lure for so many people. I mean, it gets to the stage, if you were successful in this 3D world and you got yourself a nice car, there'd be somebody who'd be jealous of it and run a key down the side of it just out of pure jealousy. It's pathetic, really, but that's the way it is. So I would say the best thing we can do is, even if you haven't got a garden, if you've got a windowsill, have a go at growing something. And you can do it from seeds in things you buy. I'm not going to get into whether it's genetically modified or anything at this stage. It's the practice run of it all, isn't it? But if you haven't got a garden, what about a community garden? Because if we're not putting money into this system and we are growing our own food, we can come to mutual cooperation, understanding with each other, and we can barter and say, right, I've got this, you've got that, let's do a swap. and you're both in agreement with it. There's no inflation. There's no profiteering from it. It's all in the open, and you both benefit. And you can get to a stage where you have a surplus, so you can give some away and be benevolent. Oh, here we go, another train going past. It's going to be one of those days in a way that's beset with problems of... it's like, perhaps they don't want me to do these videos. Well, determination, they're happening. Darkness is trying everything it can because it knows it's lost. It's desperate. It's shit scared of us. It's the same with these cameras as well. This George Orwell's 1984. If you think about it, the 1984 is a reference to 22, which is a big number in the dark side, in the Gamantras and things. But everything has duality to it. Anyway, I mean, 2 and 2, so that could be 2 people because you've got the twin caduceus, so you're a 1 and you are a 2 as well. And that saying, oh, you are a 1, comes to mind just off the top of my head from this. But yeah, so there's this silly, insane idea of going storming Area 51. I don't know if it was started as a joke, for example, but you're either going to get shot or arrested. Same as if you protest, you could find yourself in court. Well, let's think about the word court. Now, think of quartz crystal. That's a good version. But this is the opposite. It's the law court. A law is a wall backwards, let's face it. And then you've got a judge, and he's got the sheepskin thing on because he is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Wears the black robes. That should tell you something. And you're in the dock, and you're tricked because as soon as when they ask you your name, you're assuming the legal fiction that they've given you. And then they say, do you understand? And if you say yes to that, then you're saying you stand under their authority over you. No, you are not standing under your authority. You are sovereign to yourself, surely. Well, I hope you are. So, with this legal fiction, it's in block capital letters. Well, and they do capitalise on you, and just like with the words and the letters, you have the capital and the uppercase and the lowercase. I mean, what is a case? It's a way of entrapping something. Briefs, it's also a reference probably to underwear as well in their sick, twisted minds with this phonetic language. But a case, well, have a play with the letters. It's siak, it's saik, it's sick. So do you see S-E-A-C as well? It's 3 in 1 as well. Very sort of interesting little note. And while we're on the subject of words, look at the word oval. You've got the whole, the complete, then you've got a V. Well, 5 senses, or the Baphomet 5, and then the all. You can put intent in either way to all of these words. They all have duality and meaning. Now, within the body there is a sternum. Well, we are vessels, and what does a vessel have? A stern? On a ship? In this citizen ship? Then there's binary, the computer code, the binaries. Well, if you think about it, we've got 2 souls, and if you're barefoot, you're in contact with Earth. And that's 2 into 1. You're making a circuit as well that way, if you think about it. In other words, this is, I happen to see this on this, the Black Sheep researcher channel, Algiz, which I think off the top of my head was something to do with either the death rune or the Tree of Life symbol. Notice the C and D symbol, they upturn the Tree of Life as a symbol of death, and it also represents the missile as well. I don't want to go too far into that because that was another controlled opposition in many ways, to take good meaning, well-meaning intentioned people and then steer them down a completely wrong path. But I could easily go into talking about the letter Y again, again inspired through similar thoughts with Black Sheep Researcher channel. So I am giving a shout out to that channel. I would recommend all of you have a listen to what he's saying and what he's showing you. Beautifully presented, puts it all together, particularly on the letter Y. I'm going to do a video following up from this one, just with a brief overview, a sort of a short section on that. Like to try and keep this brief anyway. So yeah, the word algiz. So you've got al, you've got g, and is, iz. So all, the g, Gaia, and is. All earth is, all in the heart, all of the heart. That's how I'm seeing it. Anyway, beautiful day. I wish you well wherever you are, and I do hope, hand on heart, that you have glorious weather, because we are going into less light and we are going into winter and the great shuffle of October, which I think some of you personally, you're on the move, your life's changing, maybe not apparent yet, but hey, Friday the 13th, this is a huge turning point. I had to switch the laptop off earlier because I thought it's starting to blur with the. I've got enough inspiration for the